Hello, hello, hello. CryptoVince here. Welcome everybody. Thank you for joining me in the live stream. We'll start in 2 minutes. Let's just wait for a few other members. We got 15 right now. That's good. Let's remove this. Okay. Alright, so what I'm gonna talk about today is, of course, a Bitcoin full technical analysis at the beginning, talking about important levels to watch, um, when we might enter for a long position, or I mean, if we will just keep going down, and I mean, there is a scenario for that. Also, I will talk about and analyze the total market cap, because I think that's the most important part right now, since we have dumped pretty hard. So everything is like about minus 20%. So now, not even talking about BTC dominance, which is actually going upward, but yeah, the total market cap has been hit pretty hard, so we will check that also. Then I will do a little analysis, a sentimental analysis, looking at long position versus shorts, and a BitMEX funding rate, which has been really precise to predict the Bitcoin movement. And then, of course, I mean, in the overall live stream, I will just consider the manipulation factor, talking about also, especially about price action. I really want to focus on price action on this live stream, because that's, I think, the only thing that helped me to sell, and thinking that there could be more bearish outcome from this flat bottom triangle instead of a bullish outcome. I sold 80% of my position in USDT. I didn't short because, I mean, we knew things were kind of, it might have went up, might have dropped. It was not sure where things would have went from here, but I would like to analyze one by one all single bearish signs that we have, starting from the monthly, going to the weekly, looking at price action and everything. So you guys can use this as a education for the future when you will start to trade back, because it's very important to look at the past, what happened before, and understand if we followed that signal or we didn't, and why we didn't, or why we did follow, and what was important to spot, and so on. Okay, we have 20 viewers. That's pretty good. Okay, is my microphone good? If you guys can please type in live chat if you want to ask any question. I will answer when I can. This live stream will be pretty intense, so you will have time to review later on if you don't have time, because I understand that nobody is in the same time zone as me. All right, so where we start? That's a big question. Okay, so I have this chart this chart that you guys can see now. This is the chart that I based all my analysis and prediction on. It's a straightforward horizontal price action, and this tells us a lot. You guys can see Bitcoin is being ranging a lot in this channel right here. Okay, now, I mean, don't count those massive fake out, boom, boom, but look at the blue arrows. Look how many touches this important level had, and also this important level of support. 1, 2, 3 touches against 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 touches. Was ranging hard. In the big picture, of course, we were shaping also a flat bottom triangle, also a descending triangle, that if I trace my diagonal, but I don't trust diagonal anymore as before. I really love supply and demand, so horizontal resistance and support, they help me way better to see what might happen, because diagonals are, I mean, they help to um, for example, this diagonal here, I will never be able to trace a perfect diagonal, because where you trace this diagonal from the two peaks, counting this wick, not counting that wick, then I switch to linear and things change every time. On the other hand, when you chart horizontal levels and you add horizontal levels, if you switch to linear or log scale, that line won't change. So trusting diagonals is still very hard for me, but at least it tells me what's going on, right? What can I say by tracing this diagonal? I can say that price is making lower highs on every single attempt, and the price is getting smashed on a single attempt to break that level, but it can never break. So it's good for me to leave the diagonal resistance there, just to have an ideal line that price might break in the future. DC, how long will it take live stream? It's long, man. Yeah, I will talk about everything, either Bitcoin, educational, prediction, um, why I predicted the dump, and what I will do next. It's gonna be long. If you have no time, sorry, we will check it out later, I guess. I mean, this trading analysis pretty much. Okay. No, the prediction cannot come in front because I have to analyze the chart to make a prediction. Sorry. Okay. So we spotted a demand zone that was actually keeping the price above this level. So there was a strong support, strong demand zone, but the fact that price dumped all the way down to the demand zone and then went up, it tells me that no many orders were left on this demand zone. So then price actually spiked here again, but they failed. So even though buyers were kind of trying to keep price above this level, at the end the overall trend was making lower lows. You can see the massive sides of the red candles compared to the green, which is tells that sellers are here compared, to buyers. If you see the overall chart, you can see how strong are those cells compared to the green candles. Buyers maybe just here pushed kind of hard, but at the end you just see small green candles. Small green candle versus red candle, they're massive. Boom, boom, boom. So what does that tell you? Well, who can move the price so fast from like 14 to 10k in like one day? Just institutions can do that. No retailer, or I mean a whale, but I guess institutions, a whale, it's the same thing at some point. But can a retailer just dump that? No, it can't. So every time you see small candles that go up here, that's just retailer buying. Then when you see a massive sell-off or a massive red candle, that's pretty much sellers. The same thing that happened here. If you go back at 3k and we want to see where buyers really came in to buy, when institution came in, well, at 3k you can see this is massive green candles. massive push from 3K. Who has the power to push so hard upward when everything is dumping? Just a whale or institution can do that. Not retailers at the same time magically could do such a price action. Then there was a sell-off, then boom, again green candle, green candle, green candle, another sell because there was a remember there's this flat top pattern here. That's why it's important to look for those flat top and flat bottom, but not just focusing on the pattern itself, but it's way more important to look at the price action that it's happening in this flat top. It is sometimes a bullish breakout pattern, but it can also going down. It can also go down if price action is bearish. In this case, it was very bullish. In fact, at the end of the resistance, price making higher highs and higher lows, and then price broke and keep going up. After it broke, this is a massive buy by institution, I guess, and then retailers just start to buy. Tick, 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 just FOMO, FOMO, FOMO. Because you guys can see here when it broke 6K level, that was a massive level, a key level. So what do you think happens when a massive key level breaks? Well, FOMO kicks in. So this is retailer buying. News comes out, oh, Bitcoin broke 6K level, bam, and then poof, and then the institution guy sold this guy like crazy. In fact, Bitcoin price crashed 23% in like no time. That was insane. It's 23%, the same amount that it dumped yesterday. So those are the important things to spot when looking at those price action analysis. Okay, so just focusing on the candle and pattern and resistance and support, you can come up with what the whales or institutions are doing, and you can kind of attempt to predict an outcome by looking at the candlestick and so on. Anyways, then price keeps going up. Would you think bought this rally upward? I might guess retailers bought it because I don't see any crazy push upward that can make me think that institutions are buying it. I mean, institution buy at 3K, don't buy for sure at 10K. What do you think? So, anyways. Then we had a massive dump, right? And everything started from there, and that's where I really wanted to start to tell you which were my bearish signals. Okay, if I switch to BC Coinbase, maybe I don't have it charted. Beautiful. Okay. The higher time frame are very important, and my favorite time frame, my high time frame, is the weekly, but I'm learning to take a look at the monthly because it's extremely important. Why is that? Because monthly candle close they work exactly and perfectly as resistance or support. In fact, I've talked about this for a long time now. The candle close, the monthly candle close of the top of the bull run. If you want to have a look at this, call out, no, horizontal ray. I put magnet mode. If I want to check the candle close, boom, that's where exactly price dumped. You guys can see that, right? That's why monthly candle close are extremely important. If I trace also Fibonacci retracement of that, it's also on the 78% Fibonacci, which is very important also. and the price made spinning top on a key level, indicating indecision in the market. And when we see that, we just need to switch a time frame below and go to the weekly to see better price action. In this case, you can see how the 70-70 also swing high was acting as resistance. No candle ever broke above this level. 70-70, 78, those are massive retracement Fibonacci levels that we really need to look at. Then what we see here, and nobody really cared about it. Look at the massive weekly candle. Like, is there something that you can skip? I talked about it. That's almost a gravestone doji. A candle that dropped from 14K down to 10K. That's 4K pushed down. Like, if I had to trace a fucking hammer here, that would be like this. A massive, massive, massive rejection. But yet, traders were still fucking bullish. Like, why? I tell you why. Because news just brainwash you all day long. Yes, there was a rally, still trend making higher highs and higher lows, is still bullish, blah blah blah, okay. And then, then things started to become more bearish, in my opinion. Why? Because we started to make this consolidation pattern that looked like a flat bottom triangle. But still, even though there were two perfect examples here, the flat bottom that happened here and the flat top that happened here, that exactly worked as trading analysis suggests. There was another one here, but yet traders were like, no, everybody is looking at this thing, shit will go up, like. But nobody really cared about candlestick patterns, which were extremely bearish. So I said gravestone doji here. Then what else we got? We got bearish engulfing here, right? Red candles that covers the previous candle's body, right? Bearish engulfing. Why nobody cared about that candle stick pattern? Wow, at the end there was a gravestone doji, a bearish engulfing, and another bearish engulfing on the 70-70. Look at the candle, they never close above it. If you notice that, they never be able to close above it. So massive rejection every time price tried to attempt to break. Boom, 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 boom. What does that tell you? Well, that tells you that sellers are strong, are pushing the hell down Bitcoin. And that's why we saw this breakout, this breakdown. What else I can add by looking at the weekly? Ciao Marco, how's it going? Yeah, buyers, you barely see buyers, just on this candle here and then just rejections. We didn't even touch the full demand zone, which is massive, to be honest, on the weekly. And the demand zone right now is actually this one. So we are right now dumping into the demand zone. So I would like to see a possible bounce from this level. The problem is that this level is massive. It's from 8.7 to 7.4. Okay, remember that 7.4 that I've been talking about for so long. Why do I want to see a bounce before this level, 7.4? And I don't know if it will bounce. I want to be precise here. When I say we will reach 7.4, I don't mean we will bounce on 7.4. My target is on 7.4. Then I will see if we will bounce or not. But based on some of the gaps that I was spotting in the CME chart, um, we might see some reaction there. But the main reason why I would like to see the bounce at that level is because this is the main buyer. This is the buyer here. Call out. That's the buyer or the buyers. Oh my God, what happened here? Buyers. This is the guy that pushed Bitcoin up. Okay, so seller has mentioned the price, but in order for this to turn more bearish, this seller needs to beat this buyer. And if we do that, that will be bad. That will be really, really bad. So in case price breaks 7.4 and maybe retest this level, now we will be in seller's territory, and the next target, it will be probably around I would say 6K. Okay, if buyers are not able to defend this. And I mean, in this case, we will break market structure, because we didn't really break market structure in the higher time frame. We did break market structure in the lower time frame when we talk about daily, and we want to trace some lower lows and lower highs on this flat top, but we really need to break 740 in order to turn extremely bearish. This can still be a correction. This is good for the market because well, Bitcoin was going parabolic. You guys know that, and as I said in Cafe channel, when shit goes parabolic, what happened is gonna dump. The parabola is perfectly clear here, even on log scale. When something gets parabolic in log scale, is even more dangerous, because usually log scale are pretty straight. So if you see a parabola that you can even spot in log scale, well, shit is going crazy. Okay, and when things go parabolic, usually correction happen, and correction are pretty hard. Sometimes they go down as fast as they went up. So I just want you guys to know that. Anyways, if I trace a full Fibonacci, I would like to see what kind of retracement we had so far. So if I trace a Fibonacci of the overall bullish leg, we have almost 38%. What if I skip that wick and I go down here? We're still on 23. Yeah, that wick is massive. I don't know if I want to count that as my top. I like this level way better. Anyways, something just that helps. Remember, this is on log scale, so I use Fibonacci based on logarithmic, that you can like check your Fibonacci levels based on log scale, because if I wouldn't do that, I would just have a linear Fibonacci, which is good when you chart on linear. I like logarithmic scale, so we'll just use that. But if you wanna, chart on linear, you know that right now we are on 38, and 50% is pretty much on the 74, right? 74 level. So it's for sure a confluence that we cannot, we have to like consider also. Okay, 50%, 74. Let's see if it combines with previous high. Yeah, there's a very important level here. There's the October swing high, then might act as an important level. That's where price bounced, right? So I'm slowly starting to build a scenario, starting to build a support. That's why I need to do this trading analysis. I mean, that's why I need to talk. I need to like spend time. I cannot really, okay, Bitcoin is gonna go here because like 2 seconds. Like I need to analyze the chart, add more indicators, and see if we might bounce there or not. Anyways, I added the support is important. For sure, we have that untested demand zone that I don't know, one day it might get filled. The 6K. Okay. So that's what the weekly tells me right now. I don't want to add anything more confusing in the weekly. The only thing I want to show you guys here is that indicator were extremely bearish, starting from the RSI that was making a double top. Price dropped below 70. He made almost 2 failure swing of RSI, then boom, dump all the way down. So yes, it was bearish, but looked like nobody really cared about such RSI. MACD, was it bearish? Sure. Why skipping those massive bearish cross on weekly? Oscillators on the weekly is super important, but it looks like nobody cares. If you didn't sell, it means you didn't care. Anyways, massive important crosses, and yeah, guess what happened? And then WT cross also showing a bearish cross. And I said in one of my studies that every time WT cross shows a red bearish cross on 17 and higher, usually 30%, 40% correction has been spotted also when it comes to the uptrend, when it comes to the bullish scenario. Every time WT cross is making a red cross here, I can show you guys. Every time there was a red cross, every time we had 30%, 40% correction. So red cross happened, like why not? So in fact we dropped 40%. So lots of bearish signals, and I'm just tracing on the weekly. I didn't even go inside the daily or 3-day. This is all things that you could have spotted perfectly from the weekly. That's all, like really simple. Okay, let's just switch to Equinox. I just want to see the candles here on the weekly. Don't tell me too much. I mean, at the last part of the correction, we had doji on all direction. That tells you watch out, because shit is crazy. But it's hard to know a direction. But as you guys can see here, at the end of the consolidation of these triangles, also we had tons of doji, up and down, indecision in the market, and indecision in the market was also here. Okay, but flat bottom broke down, the only difference is this flat bottom comes from a downtrend. This flat bottom was coming from an uptrend, and usually when it comes from an uptrend, those flat bottom triangles are more bullish, from my experience. So it was really not easy to just, another way to do it, to just base your analysis on that flat bottom and be like, okay, let's short or let's long this. Now everybody's like, and me too, is this a false breakout? Well, we don't know. Of course we need to go look in the lower time frame, maybe 1 hour, 4 hour, to just check price action and see how buyers and sellers are fighting. But I will stay out of the market personally, because we will check them after Bitback Pair, the top altcoins. Weeks are just fucking insane, so you can just get stopped out on all direction. to be honest, because it's just insane. You just see LTC or Ethereum is a joke, those weeks that you see. So if you don't want to get wrecked, I would recommend to just wait. You don't need to buy the bottom. I mean, why losing your mind to look at the bottom and find the bottom that you gotta catch this damn bottom when you just can enter with more confirmations and so on. Okay, so that's the weekly. I show you the indicators. Let's see if I got something else for the weekly. Well, the VPVR indicator, I think, is a very important indicator that tells us the highest volume when it comes to a precise a certain level. So it's very different. It's very similar to volume here, but this volume is based on time. So based on this day, volume was this high, but this volume is based on price. It tells you how much transactions were transacted at a specific level, and it's very, very, very important and very useful to spot support and resistance levels. In fact, if we trace every single high volume node of this indicator, these will tell us pretty much what the possible support might be. In fact, we have one on 6.4. Very interesting. Why 6.4? Well, 6.4 is the massive support, 2018 support, right? Price bounced on the support for so long, for about from like January to November, almost a year. So if that's not a strong support, I don't know what that is. So that support is extremely powerful, and yes, we could go to 6.4 if 7.4 doesn't really hold. So right now we stopped at around 8.3 because there was also another high volume node here, right? So another things to add to our analysis. Okay, we got that. So this should be green. Okay, ADC, thank you. So Jam, right? Hey, hello, how's it going? Where can I find the WT cross indicator? Just go on Google, type WT cross, and you should find it. Rav, do you think it will fill the CM gap at 7.2? Okay, let's go check. Yes, the SME chart. I want to show you guys something. Those are gaps that I found in the 4-hour time frame. I don't like look at the 1-hour time frame, but like there was one here that I wanted to spot, and it worked out pretty good. So even 1-hour gaps are important. When I switch, to the daily, just to show you what happens. I charted all the analysis, all the chart of the SME. Sorry, CME. Still get confused with that name. Okay, every single gap has been filled in the past. So just based on that data, I want to assume that gaps get filled on Bitcoin. When it comes to trading, gaps don't need to get filled every time. It's not mandatory, but on Bitcoin, every single gap has been filled, ever, always. So why those unfilled gap are not going to get filled this time? So based on that, I want to show you guys the gaps that I spotted. I mean, everything has been filled. Look at this massive gap. This is the dump I was talking about before. Institutions sold, and then many people bought it at that level just because there was that unfilled gap, and many people usually fit some orders in there. Anyways, there was a gap here there was no field completely. Okay, the gap is this one, from this candle to that one, right? This was a massive gap. Price dropped all the way down, dropped up to here, dropped, but never filled, just filled a little bit, but not all the way. So there is a gap on 7472 that needs to be filled and might get filled. So that's a support for me. And also there is a little one on 6K. I don't know if you noticed, but there is a gap on 6K. Okay, we can zoom in to see maybe, oh, where am I? Here. Zoom in, maybe the gap is even bigger. Oh, fuck it. Anyways, we know that there's a gap on 6K. I'm not sure if it is higher or not, but let's trace the bottom of that gap. That's perfectly on 6K. So that's another support for me. Okay. And you can, chart by yourself all the gaps that have been filled. I think I posted a million chart about gaps. They have all been filled. And there is one on 12K also that must be filled. But I mean, I think at this point we are very close to that 7.4, and then we'll see if that doesn't hold. 6K will be our support. Sounds scary, but it is not. Why it is not? Why is not? Because I mean, we say the why price can go down to 6K. Well, that's 78% Fibonacci retracement. That would be pretty awesome. and then moon time. Why not? Why not? Why not? It is possible. Okay. So I'm setting up some levels. I know I now got 7.4 and I got 6.4 and then I got 6K 5.7. I mean, that's the confluence with the demand zone. Okay. So with your 7.4 prediction, do you think it's possible to have a wick 272 to fill this SNME gap? Yes, for sure. Like 7.4, just an ideal level. Price can even wick down to 6K and then close at 7.4. I mean, I don't know what wicks will do, but levels can be kind of predicted. It just needs to wick. It can go down to touch demand. I mean, price is so crazy. It could actually wick to 4.8 and then close the next day at 7.4. I mean, everything can happen at this point. Look at that massive wick that happened here, for example. That's what we need to see for a massive bullish outcome, or at least some kind of like move upward. But at this point, if we don't see that kind of wick or some kind of false breakout, it's gonna be hard to find this bottom. So I will wait until I see something that is extremely bullish in the higher time frame. Could be a bullish engulfing. What else? A bounce, I mean, on the 4-hour time frame, it doesn't really mean too much at this point, to be honest. Okay. Let me check my free channel for 1 second, because I wrote a few things. I'm gonna go with those ideas, otherwise, because I have so much to talk. Okay. Oh, this was important, I think, and it's something that I would like to talk about. I don't know why that happened. I didn't do a research. Data, Bitcoin Explorer charts. There was a massive dump on the network activity yesterday, on the hash rate. Look at actually before the dump, because I posted this chart on September the 24th. Today is what, the 25th. Yeah, just before the dump, Bitcoin hash rate crashed. Now it recovered quite well, but yeah, that was scary. There was something there. So I don't know why that happened. We'll have to monitor this hash rate, because sometimes it can predict what it might happen. 1 year. I mean, we reached all-time high at 100 million terashes, or however you guys say, yes, terashes. I don't like the dump. I would like to do more research on it, but price recovered quite well, so we'll see how this will go. This was another thing that was kind of weird. I'm like, fuck, what happened there? Shit might just dump. That famous 21 EMA that got hit, but price didn't do nothing. Probably why? Maybe because many traders were looking at that 21 EMA. Just too many, and at this point, when everyone looks at something, maybe everybody plays a buy orders on that 21 EMA. Guess what happened? There is so much volume and institution that just buy there, because they can buy, and until all the buy orders are gone, they can just sell and keep the price pretty high. That's pretty much what happened on the flat top, sorry, a flat bottom triangle. Just people throwing good news back to back to back to yes, so yeah, moon, back to back, and people just keep buying it, keep buying, and then everything dumped. And there was no more volume, there was no more pressure by buyers. Everyone bought it, and then sellers, took it down. So this is a extremely bearish indicator. If we don't recover and we're not able to go above the 21 EMA, things will keep dropping. So be careful if price start to go up right now and reach 9K, because 9K now it turned into what? Into support. So even though we see a bounce here, the market structure has been broken on the lower time frame, so price can actually bounce to retest that level and drop even more. So a bounce from here doesn't really mean it's bullish. We're bullish on Bitcoin, so we need to be careful for this reason too. Small gap at 524. 524. Right here. Yeah, that might be a low one. Candle close here. Yes, that is a little one probably. As I said before, those little ones are not so important as the big ones, because I mean, only just few orders, few price needs to get filled. There's not a massive gap that counts as the one that like you can spot it even on the weekly, like this one, So like demand zone, if you have a small demand zone, you might have a reaction not as strong as a massive demand zone that you spot in the chart. So okay, let me remove a BPVR indicator. So we talked about that, the hash rate, the weekly 21 EMA. Um, yeah, I just wanted to show you the cute prediction that I did on the channel, right? That was pretty straightforward. Will dump pretty hard below this flat bottom triangle support to go touch lower demand zones, and it did, breaking below the weekly 21. Even though I talked about this 21 as a great support, um, I didn't really wanted to buy on the 21. For me, that was an indicator. Okay, will price bounce or will drop it below the 21? And I would have done my prediction later on also, and it didn't. But based on sentiment analysis, yes, I mean, that was pretty straightforward prediction, dropping all the way down to 8K and maybe lower 7.4 to fill all the CM gaps, and only then move to go test 12K. So that's what I'm expecting, some kind of reaction at 7.4 level, to be honest. Then from 7.4 it can go up to test 9K again, and then we'll see if it breaks, is able to recover above resistance. Okay, then we might buy back, but you know, long position are extremely high compared to short. That was another important thing. That's more sentimental analysis. That made me think about a massive drop. Long position were just so crazy high. Long position high can mean loss of liquidity for whales to short, and that's what happened. And then in addition, the BitMEX funding rate has been above zero on daily for some times now. This was also a very important thing. Let's put Bitfinex chart. Bitfinex. Okay, let's put short versus long position, and they're still high, extremely high long positions. Yesterday I posted a chart that shorts are increasing, which might predict sometimes that traders are more interested in shorting, so the interest is going higher, so more people are opening shorts, and in the short term time frame, in the short term, this indicator can actually be a bearish indicator. Then of course when short position become extremely high, that's the opposite. In fact, for example, here that they were extremely high short position, we are with a pump. Okay, I'm not gonna go into short squeeze, a long squeeze. I don't know what happened. Probably something happened there. I'm not gonna go through the 1 hour time frame on this. I just want to show you the bigger time frame. And then the the funding rate. The funding rate that has been spiking upward more than downward was suggesting that a short could have happened. Ooh, look at that. So that's interesting. That massive candle on the short side might actually mean that we might bounce here. That's an interesting candle. Let me see, 4 hour. Wow. Well, that's pretty low right there. Well, that's not a bad signal, to attempt a long position from those levels. So I keep this in mind, and I will evaluate them Bitcoin closer to see if we might see a little bounce from these levels before more downtrend. Okay. Okay, I just want to look at moving averages, really important, the really important ones, and in this case, moving averages, 200, 150. Look at that. Actually, the 10 and 20 are also making a bearish cross, and this actually, look at this bullish cross, right? This is the 10 and the 20 moving average. That bullish cross started the bull run. Okay, this is consolidation here. You can see the massive bullish engulfing that tells you the buyers are coming in. That's what I would like to see here in order to buy. Usually when bullish engulfing happens, we usually buy after a 78% retracement of the bullish engulfing, and that's what happened there. If we see closer, there was also an harmonic pattern, if you guys remember. I'm just repeating myself because not everybody listens to my live stream. So there was an harmonic pattern. I think it was a bat harmonic, perfect bat harmonic pattern with a 50% retracement or 61 and price mooned. Anyways, something that you can spot also for a buy. In fact, price mooned from D point and it never retraced back. So bullish engulfing on the weekly, there was, yes, also bounce on 200. We have a bullish cross between the 10 and 20, and now we have a bearish cross between 10 and 20. I didn't spot this before, but this would have been another bearish indicator. Another bearish indicator. Then looking at the bullish crosses, we just have the 50 and 20 and the 120. Not very important, to be honest. If price keeps dropping, we will never see 150 crossing because they will just keep going down. So on the weekly, nothing interesting when it comes to moving averages. But when I switch to 3-day, there is a bullish cross that is coming, and it might be really, really interesting. We have the 1500 cross here that caused a pump. I mean, matches with the pump. Then we have also 15200, our golden cross on 3-day, that did cause another pump. Those are other reasons why price spiked, for example. And now we might have another bullish cross that might be also very, very important. So I will keep an eye on this one, and I'm not sure yet where price will bounce, but this bullish cross might actually be a very good one, and price my pump from there. So that's for sure very, very important cross here. Price broke up above the 200, the slower moving average, retested once and then went all the way up. Another retest won't be a bad thing. Let's see what happened in the past when it comes to 3-day time frame. What happened in the past in 2000 when we broke above the 200? When did we broke above the 200? Here we go. So price broke, never made it. Then you can see here the price action. Price broke it, retested, moon time, and then what happened? Retest of the 200 before the moon. Okay, so as always, it's not as easy as everybody thinks. It's like, okay, retested, all right, it's time to moon, blah blah blah. Nope, because seller are gonna push down again to trap all the weekends, and another bounce on the 200 usually happens. You can see the pattern. We can probably trace the same exact pattern right now. Okay, so look at this: breakout, retest, continuation, correction and go. So maybe might do the same thing here. And we have our breakout plus retest, continuation, and then some fake by the seller, drop, and continuation. So is it kind of similar? Yes. So, this might happen. Why not? Again, I'm bullish long term up to 7.4. Below 7.4, I will turn really bearish. Okay, I've been bearish in this correction. Okay, bearish in this correction, but my higher time frame is still bullish in my opinion. When I say price will dump from 14K to 7.4, I'm talking about a correction. Not confused, a correction with a bearish market. Okay, remember, correction happens in the market and they are healthy, and the correction in this case will be only 61%. If we really dump from here to down to the 200, 61%, we see them all the time. This is on linear scale, the 61% retracement. So we have some demand zone, we have a retest. So yes, 7K, 7.4 keeps coming up, keeps coming up. Bullish cross right there, demand zone, gap. Where else? Let's trace some Fibonacci retracement in the lower time frame, for example on the daily, and let's see what we got. If I trace just a quick one, we have look at how nicely they are under 61 is respected here. First target, and then, well, I can remove the moving average, and then we got the 261, a 7K. So not a bad look, not a bad look. So if I skip that wick, let me be more precise. If I skip that wick, I go here. Okay, that will be at 7. Okay, so finding the support, strong support, to be honest, at 7K. Let's trace some other Fibonacci. The confluence. There's a confluence with the under 27 at this point. That's the reason why it bounced there. It stopped. So we could have actually a little upward move from this level, because there is some support. There is some support there, but not for the long term. I think we might react and drop more. I don't think this is a good level to just moon. Today daily acting as support right now. Oh yes, you're right. Yes, perfect. That's another. Let's see. The 200 act here as resistance here also. I don't see. I never seen actually acting as support, so I cannot really say if this could be a support based on the 200, because I would like to see it retested more than once to say that okay, it's acting as a support. But right now, just one touch, I mean, it can break. I didn't really make a lower low here, a swing low. You can just dump. See 3-day time frame. Okay, let's trace also a Fibonacci extension tool, with the extension tool, to find a target. Let's see if we got a confluence with 127 and 61. If 100% Fibonacci extension drops right in between these two, well, that will be magical. That will be like 3 Fibonacci. So to trace this, I'm gonna trace the point 0 to point 1 to retrace point 2. Let's see what level we got. Nah. Well, we got the 78 and the 88. That's where price is bouncing right now. The under is a little bit below. Oh, let's check. Skip the wick. Let me trace it better from no, same thing. Nothing super interesting with the Fibonacci. Okay, so what else to talk about? We talked about sentiment, shorts versus long. We also talked about the funding rate. Backed is pretty clear. That was a bearish news. Volume is volume. It doesn't mean that if volume increases, it's a bullish sign. Volume can be bearish also. You the all the info. What else? The levels to watch with the weekly outlook. Well, my 1K bearish scenario. We talk about the gaps, triangles, flat bottom. Talk about the weekly oscillators, very bearish. Gravestone candlestick pattern, bearish engulfing on the weekly. Tons of bearish ideas. I mean, this wasn't a bad break, guys. I mean, you cannot fake to see this break. It's bad. So start from there and then make your prediction. Like, this is not bullish. I want to make it clear that it is not bullish. So you should keep your bearish bias at the moment. Until you see something better. Let's go check. Well, this is the overall chart that I posted in my free channel for a long time. Now you can see sellers smashing the price harder and harder and harder on every single occasion. Let me put the logarithmic scale because it's very precise. And then there was this local support. The daily support, supports, levels of support are made from candle body. So I traced this massive support. Why? Because price was never able to break below this level. Never. Look how many attempts. Then there was a fake out, probe, however you want to call it. So an attempt of seller to smash the price down, but buyers were able to recover because there was a demand, unfilled demand zone, which is the green one, right? So there were still some orders because just a part of that demand was taken here. So price dumped, touched on the demand, spiked all the way down, all the way up. That's where we open a long on Bitcoin, and then it dropped again. Major level acting as support, boom, look what happened here. That's when I got the alert. That's when I sold everything to USDT, and I told my members to better if we close all the long position we got, cause this is bad. So look how many times, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 times price tried to break below support. 11 touches. That support it's shit now. Okay, but yet price try to trick everyone. Price dumped, price recovered so much. In fact, my members were like, "Oh my god, nice bounce on Bitcoin." And I posted in my free channel the chat I had with my member. I was like, "I'm not impressed. This has been happening all way long." And in fact, price dropped, closed below level, retested, and boom, massive dump. So that's how you can spot your short entries or your longs. I mean, this is all based on price action, on horizontal levels, on demand zone, and this is what we teach in my premium channel. We teach all of this so you can use your own skills to predict the market. Just today on Cafe Channel, they asked me, "It's time to buy Ethereum." Like, how can I answer such a question? Like, is it time to buy Bitcoin right now? How can I answer that? Like, you really need to look at the chart, learn trading analysis, or you just buy here and you hold for like 1 year. Like, there's so many different kind of strategies at this point. Scalping, short-term trades, just holding things. And then remember, there are traders that plays with stop loss, as myself. Traders, they don't. They just hold. They buy and hold. They sell when they are in profit. Not the best, of course, strategy, but they do DCA, so they just buy lower and lower and lower, so their average buy is always lower, so they kind of make more money at the end if price goes up one day. Okay, just stuck for an hour. That's not bad. Yes, the EMA is always different. Moving average is calculated on every single time frame, like all other oscillators. Indicators change on that's how they're made for. Indicators change on every single time frame. So every single indicator you will pick from here, moving averages, RSI, MACD, volume, it will change. That's how indicators are. So moving averages are an indicator, so they are based on the time frame. Of course they change. On the other hand, when you use tools, Fibonacci, lines, support levels, whatever you pick from here, there are tools that you draw in the chart. They're not gonna change if you switch time frame. So this is a big difference. Okay. What else? What else? I'm on the daily now. I went from the monthly to the weekly, on the 3-day, on the daily, to show you guys what I was looking. Because in order to find an entry, you're not gonna find it on the weekly, but on the daily, sometimes for a long-term idea, could be a nice entry. If you post a massive, I mean, an important stop loss. For example, if I wanted to buy this retest, I could have just shorted that with a stop loss above those high and also above the resistance, diagonal resistance, and short. This would have been a 3-hour trade, nothing crazy. 4-hour trade. It is just an example of how you could have done it. Okay, let's go look more inside. Let's go look at the lower time frame. Let's see if we can spot something. At this point, it's also important to look at some oscillators on the daily. Let's see how they are, and they are starting to get very oversold. RSI, it is already at 20, so it's started to get interesting. This doesn't mean buy me, because you guys know there are divergences. What divergences are, I mean, for those guys that don't know, it's when price, I mean, you can still do this, for example, and price making lower lows. So that's a divergence, for example. So RSI can go higher while price drops. So just because RSI is low is not a buy signal. Okay, but it's something that tells you that watch out because it's low. And I mean, you need to see a strength in RSI in order to buy it, not just a drop. I mean, if this is bearish, okay. And then even WT cross, my cross soon, very low. When was last time it was so low? At 3k, okay, around 3k it was so low. So that would be an important cross also. MACD is such a slow indicator. It delays a lot, so I'm not gonna to count on it at this point. Volume has been dropping, but we have an interesting spike. And I know you guys think, oh, Vince, but that's a red candle. But I just said before that volume is volume. Even though it's a red candle, it doesn't mean it's a bearish signal. It dumped, but so much volume can be beautiful for buyers that wants to buy this thing at this point. So it's interesting, the spike all the way up. So I'm starting to see some little possibility for a little scalp long, but I'm yet not super sure. We also broke below the EMA 200 and retesting it on the daily. Okay, it's time to go a little bit closer. This is XBT. Okay, on BitMEX. Let's go on 4 hours straight. What we got here? We have a small divergence on RSI already. Small double T cross. Volume is picking up. It's going upward, so that could be a good indicator. Let's switch to 12 hours. Maybe I can see the divergence a little bit better. Yeah. Yes, here you can see it quite well. See divergence on 1 hour. That's a pretty good one. So price making lower lows while in oscillators making higher lows. That's usually can suggest a reversal. Where can I trace my Fibonacci? I will trace it from here. Okay, buyers were able to push price up about 38%, so sellers are still strong here. Okay, you know what I mean? Sellers are still strong. Let me trace some levels. That's the range high. is a range low. Okay. Right there. Price, this is the range, right? Price attempt to break failed. Also here, it's trying to drop. It can drop. So it's a range. Right now we are moving inside this possible rectangle here. And based on where it will break, I will make my assumption for a long or a short. So if it can break and hold and retest this level, I will long. If it goes here, goes up, retest it, and start to break, okay, maybe we will go up a bit. I will also trace my wick, because the wick is also important, the wick of the range. And I usually make this like that, and also make this important wicks, and I set alerts all over the place. Alerts here, alerts here. So I don't need to look at Bitcoin right now. Like, I don't need to look at when the alert goes off. Okay, I go look at and I make my trade. But right now, why should I even look at Bitcoin if it doesn't break none of those levels? Okay, and I set tons of alert everywhere. Okay, so I'm set. So this is based on 2 hours. I go 4-hour time frame. You see, I cannot really chart this too much, right? It doesn't tell me enough. 12 hours though, it's more precise. I go to 1 hour. I might adjust my level if I want to. It gets really messy, so I will stick to my 2-hour time frame. 30 minutes. Yeah, 30 minutes combines confluence with the level that I traced on the 4-hour. So that's pretty cool. And 2 hours also. So that's important level. 100%. No doubt about it. Level of support and resistance do change every single time frame, because levels are made from the candle. So if this is a candle for me in the 2-hour time frame, it won't be a level for the 12-hour time frame, because the level is a little bit below, right? Candle close differently in every single time frame, so every single time frame will give you a different level. And depending on what you're trading, what time frame you're trading, that will change. That's why sometimes it's important, especially in Forex, to chart only 1 or 2 time frame. Like if you're scalping, go 15 minutes time frame. That's where you place your entries, and then in the 1-hour time frame, that's where you set up your levels. That's it. And then maybe you can go 5 minutes to see the price action. But I mean, it's not worth for me to scalp and go look at the daily. Why the hell do I need the daily if I want to make a scalp trade, for example? Okay. Every single time frame is useful depending on what you want. That's why I did all the analysis from the monthly, and now I'm dropping. I did monthly, weekly, 3-day, 1 day, 4-hour, and then if you want to know more, you go more inside. If you wanna scalp this channel and maybe attempt some trades, if you think that the price is ranging, do I have to do this in 4 hours? No, because I can see nothing. So I may go 1 hour and I will see better, and I have a better idea. So maybe, for example, if it breaks this local supply, price may break, I might find a long and sell here if retests that level. And this is just an example. But again, 1 hour will tell you also the target. If I'm charting on 1 hour, I'm not gonna find 15K as a target. So time frame will tell you your entry, it will tell you the target. Even though sometimes I find my target in the higher time frame. Like for example, I mean, this scalp, no, I just focus on this. I'm not gonna move to 2 hours. If I wanna enter this, I will probably go to 15 minutes time frame to enter, 1 hour for the target, for example. So you have to understand what kind of trader you are, what kind of time frame you like, and do that, and then trade the time frame that you like. 15 minutes time frame, we're making a little flat top. No, actually, it's not a flat top. It's more a double bottom, I would say. Double bottom pattern. Or could be also an harmonic. No, double bottom, I would say. So, as double bottom pattern works, if it breaks the neckline, we might see an uptrend. Okay. And I mean, you can make your 3R here. You don't need to chart a higher time frame to make 3R. You could also make even more. That's 2.3R right there. You know, if that's the case. There's levels on every single time frame. In 15 minutes, if you're scalping, I just trace levels based on, again, 4 hour. And this doesn't mean we'll go to 10k, of course. It's just a scalp. It's just a long that stops at 87. You cannot predict more by looking at 15 minutes time frame. 15 minutes time frame does not predict 20k. That has to be clear. If I'm charting 15 minutes time frame, I'm probably can predict to 8k, 8.7 top, 9k top. That's it. And 1 hour time frame can predict a little bit more, and so on. So yeah, based on 4 hour, we said we have a range. Actually, was the 1 hour the range? The hell was it? Okay, 2 hours. So I set my alerts. We'll see what we will do. I'm not a scalper, so I'm not interested to a scalp inside this range because I have other things to do, more important things to do. I don't like wasting my time on the chart. I like to nail the trade when it's clear to me that I'm gonna nail the trade, and that's why I like 4 hour daily time frames to make my swing trades. I don't like scalping too much, but we do scalp on margin trading, especially with the Timon. Well, nothing I can add here, to be honest. I cannot really predict right now where Bitcoin is going to go based on the higher time frame. I need to see more. I need to see more price action. We do have a double bottom here, as a little double bottom with two bullish hammer. So we might have a little spike upward. As I say, there is a bullish RSI divergence that can also push the price up a little bit, but again, nothing that tells me that in the higher time frame this is the bottom. No, I cannot say that. There's nothing yet that suggests bullish engulfing here, but that's a 1 hour. So a bullish engulfing on the 1 hour is not a bullish engulfing on the 3-day time frame. So this bullish engulfing doesn't tell me that we will go to 50k tomorrow. What else, guys? That's it. I'm not gonna go in the 15 minutes time frame. I don't need to show you guys how to scalp right now. I would like to look at BTC market cap and dominance, and also let's look at the BitMEX coins to see how crazy they dump. That's gonna be fun. I will leave my alerts as they are, and based on what level it will break, I might then try to attempt a short or a long based on my alerts. Okay. Anything else on Bitcoin that you guys think is useful? I just there's a Fibonacci there. Of course, if we break this, I think it will go straight up to 10k again. It might just make a false breakout if it breaks here, because there is no resistance that happened in this candle. So if he's able to come back, also 9k that could be psychological levels for sure. Then if we break that, we might also reach supply again. But I mean, we really need to see the breakout and retest of what is this? 8.7 kind of. What else? I don't like Ichimoku Cloud. I don't trade it anymore. I should even remove it from my indicators. My prediction right now are really based on price action. I love price action, like looking at the candles and trace horizontal levels. That's what helped me the most. Then I will add oscillators and also moving averages just to look for divergence. So it helps me with the bias that I have already with the price action analysis. I like VPVR indicator. It's of course a premium indicator, so it's not available for free. And volume, I'm not a big volume analyst. I don't check it often. I like checking the volume on the price of the VPVR indicator more than the volume itself for the time. But it is important. It's just me that I don't trade a lot based on volume. um Harmonic. What can harmonic that can be? Could be an harmonic pattern. Where the fuck is it? Here. Forty percent, 38, 71. Yeah. 88. 70. Well, that matches with the 38. Usually 38 are good harmonic pattern. This is not doesn't match too much. Let's see. Let's see in the harmonic patterns. I don't know this by like so 70, 38. 38 here, 88 is usually, and then 88. So could be bearish bat, could also be bearish crab, bearish bat. Yeah, this is what I trace: 38 and 88. Then the C level is not so important as A and D. This would match with the 9.6. Well, I would just leave it there. We'll see. And this is usually a bearish pattern, of course. So if it reaches there, there will be our retest. So I'm not going to long because of this harmonic, but if this harmonic works, I will short. I always trade as harmonic when they reach the level, not when there is just a C. because I don't know if this thing will arrive at D. Uh, did the live stream drop at some point? Because I see like here the line 30 minutes was off. Do you guys reckon or not? If it was off for 30 minutes. Anyways, enough on Bitcoin. Let's go check just the total market cap now, which is really bad. Really bad. Even the 21 EMA has been smashed on the weekly. Let's see. Yes. Not a good look. Not a good look at all. Terrible look, the market cap. Volume. Terrible look. There's also something that might look similar to an head and shoulder. Where is it? Head and shoulder. I mean, we have something that it is similar, and we have to look at the level for a possible, again, bounce, as it might happen now, and then continuation. So don't turn bullish, guys, when if these things spike all the way up. No smart. That's when you get wrecked. It's very similar to Bitcoin, of course. The analysis of the levels. I have nothing to add here. Just bad that it broke level. Now we bounced on this support resistance flip, which is it's actually our breaker block. If you look at the weekly, I mean, it's a massive breaker block, but it is our breaker block. Okay, price dropped, break the block, and now it's trying to flip. I type it down because I chart so many things that when I type, it's not only for you, it's also for me, because I remember I've seen that thing. So I don't just push those things just because I want to show you what I'm looking at. Okay, what else? And he's bouncing right on it, so that's kind of funny. It just bounced on it pretty well. So total market cap. Let's see the total altcoin market cap. Also breaking below. I don't like that wick. Let me. That's a terrible wick. To be honest, this is the real level. If I have to be precise with this is the real level. Then price spiked again. In fact, it dropped here. Then spike again. Those are all false breakout. False. So that's really the level that I have to look at right now. And we are still in a good zone. For sure, there is something here. Another resistance I have to trace. So not super bearish, not as bad as Bitcoin. It doesn't look terrible right now as the one that as the total market cap. Altcoins looks more, looks better. This is the overall idea. You guys have seen this chart many times. The breaker block that happened here, as I traced in the total market cap. That's breaker block, boom, and then the support resistance flip. You guys can see that act as a support, then it breaks and acts as a resistance. Never was able to break again, act as a resistance again. So that's why it's called the support resistance flip. 61-70% retracement. It's a good retracement. Of course, the overall trend, it is bearish. Let's see how much retracement there was. This is not logarithmic. 50%, of course. 50%. Fucking perfect. Look at that. %. Retracement, not good at all. So I mean, this could be a continuation, so that's why I'm so scared right now. So scared. It could really dump. BLX. Do I still have the chart? Ooh, look at this chart I had. That's cute. It was a simple chart that I traced. Flat bottom, flat top, flat bottom, demand. Boom. We are right on that level. Oh, let's look at those charts. Why I trace these black lines? Oh, the eyes. Oh no, this was the weekly. Okay. Oh yes, this was the weekly demand and supply levels. Perfect. Yes, you can see the red, the blue, and the green. That's my friend G that traced this. You can see how perfectly those levels are respected. Supply rejected the supply, bounced on this main block, never was able to break above it, so we didn't have a continuation, and now broke below the block, retesting weekly demand. So you can see how many confluences there are in the chart, so many things that you can use to find your predictions and to predict the market. I mean, technical analysis is pretty amazing, if you ask me. Skip those wicks, but in the higher time frame it is pretty cool. Then if you go into 15 minutes, 30 minutes, or 1 hour, well, you might get wrecked easily. But in the higher time frame are more precise, of course, because manipulation doesn't have to last so long. Well, I hope you guys are appreciating the live stream. I know I talk a lot, but I'm giving you a lot of information that will help you forever. That's the gap. Okay, so let's go back here. I took a look at the total cap, altcoin cap, BTC dominance. Let's have a look. What's going on? Again, the total, the BTC dominance chart, I wrote in my channel, is not something that goes with the price. It's not directly, correlated to Bitcoin and altcoins. I mean, what is Bitcoin dominance? Is how much the total market of Bitcoin takes of the total market cap. So why did it went up right now? Well, all the market crash, it doesn't mean these things has to crash, because all the market crash, so probably altcoins dropped more than Bitcoin. So Bitcoin, of course, Bitcoin dominance goes up in value. The total market cap of Bitcoin is higher than altcoins. Okay, and you can see though a perfect confluence also in this chart with levels. That's why I trace it, because It's pretty important to see this. Again, in the lower time frame, we are making a lower low, lower high um, structure. In fact, price reached local swing low and is now dropping again. Something I learned, and this from my friend Timon, that it's helping me a lot when trading, is to focus more on local swing low and swing high, focusing on demand, supply and demand. They are very local. What I mean by this is like uh, you see this price action right here. Sometimes it's better just to look at this. If I was at this level right now, okay, and I have this, right? I'm like, okay, where this thing it bounced. We have in indecision candle. We might go up because it's on support. We might go up, but where to? Where can we go up to? And if me before myself, I used to go nuts because I would trace other levels that were in the past. Like for example, I would have traced this, and I did trace this. I posted in the free channel, and by that level, with that level, I would have said, you know what, this thing will get retested here and then maybe go here, blah blah blah, and then drop. And I would give this swing low or this support way more importance than the local swing. But now I'm changing my mind because while I chart, I see that price needs to reach supply level again, and the supply level is pretty clear at this point. If I even made that on the what 3-day time frame, well, that's the supply level. Well, red. Oh, red. And I mean, price reached there and is dumping again. So price action is more clear when I do that. So I mean, this is a tip. I don't know if you want to use it, but I found that it more interesting. The local is more important than what happened in the past. Even though sometimes we do go look at levels that come from like like 2 years ago. Sure, that might be important, but local swing are for sure way more important. So now we're dropping. We'll see what the hell this means. That means altcoins are now maybe moving more than Bitcoin. So, well, I'm done with Bitcoin. Let's go look at BitMEX coins to see what's going on. Altcoin chart. Where did I trace them here? I keep an eye on all the BitMEX pairs. That's where I focus on when market is shit. I don't even bother go looking at altcoins or Binance sometimes. I mean, even though if we long this, we can long on Binance anyways. I'm just gonna scroll quickly. I'm not gonna go into this anymore. We got stopped out on I don't know actually. I stopped myself at break even. I stopped myself at break even here. Yes. As soon as it broke below the blue line that I had my alert on, I was expecting a bounce here. I'm like, you know what? Will it bounce or not? Let's place a trade. I did go filled. We did go filled on this wick. You guys can see that. Boop. Then price dropped. As soon as it broke down and closed it, almost there. That's when I suggest let's sell this thing because it doesn't look good. And then Bitcoin, of course, was starting to look bad. Blah blah blah. Thank God we did it. I mean, even though we didn't do it, we would have get stopped out and do -1 hour, but not a big deal. I didn't feel too short there, but yeah, price dumped. So my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 was not what I expected. It was just an ABC correction at this point. Okay. Let's go check the higher time frame. Oh yeah, he broke even the fucking symmetrical triangle there. Oh, nice fake. Fake out of the triangle. This happens so much. These things I see it all the time. Like it's not even funny. Like I never. It's impossible. Sometimes I really think it's impossible. There is a symmetrical triangle. It's so rare that I mean, let's say it's coming from a downtrend, whatever. So it does this. I don't know, like that, and then it does this. I will never see such perfection and then a continuation. What I will see is always like a fake out on the top to trap all the longs and then comes back in and then goes down and people short here and then price goes back up to retest and then it goes down. So this is what I see most of the time. And the same thing happened here pretty much. So there is a downtrend. There's a downtrend. Then we make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and now it's breaking, and then boom, and then it dumps. Reason why? Guess what? I don't trust my diagonal, as I said at the beginning of this video, but I trust more the horizontal level. In fact, my horizontal level, which is the red supply level that I traced, is the one that I trusted the most. In fact, let me put my hammer there. Got smashed. Okay. Again, those false breakouts are tricky to catch. As not, those are not easy because there was even a very small retest at this level. So be careful and remember when trading, fake outs, they don't come once in a while. Fake outs are all over the place on every single chart, on every single time frame, on every single level. There's always a false breakout. Always. It's not something that you see, once every blue moon. Like this is a false breakout. This is the level, right? This is a false breakout. Why is there a false breakout? Well, price dropped and was never able to stay above the level that I traced. In fact, probably if I go to 3-day time frame, you will see a wick. Here we go, wick. So false breakout. You have a clear idea now, which is the important level, right? Look at the bounce. This low had on important level. That's why you need to learn how to trace those levels in a good way in order to predict the price. And yes, I had this diagonal, but is this diagonal so important? I don't need this diagonal. I can find this bounce without tracing this diagonal. How? With my local level. That's where it bounced, right? Here. So diagonal is just something that you add to make your chart better, to go with your bias better. Okay, I did the diagonal, there's another touch, okay, that's better. Okay, anyways, false breakout, drop. Now we bounce right on the swing, the wick, right on it. Let me adjust my Fibonacci. Let's trade the Fibonacci of this wave ABC, and we are on 127%. Okay, well, Doesn't look bad. Doesn't look bad. I mean, yes, we have the dump, but we may recover. So if you guys see anything good in the lower time frame, you can long uh, BCH. Um, ADA. This was another scenario. This is interesting. Why? Well, I traded a downtrend, lower high, lower low, getting smashed every time price reached previous level, blah 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 blah. And here I was like, okay, what this thing is gonna do now? Um, it made an higher high, almost a double bottom, whatever you wanna call it. Um, there was a breaker block. Price increased. When it reached here, I knew it was gonna dump. In fact, you guys can see both scenario were bearish at the beginning. Okay, I knew it was gonna dump there. It just mooning so hard. Indicators were high. Now I don't remember why. I thought that, but I say watch out, cause now it will retrace. But this will be a moonshot or will it be a downtrend? And how to discover that? Well, if it bounced and continue, it would have been a bullish. It bounced here, if you guys see. So this was the price action. Okay, bounce, was never able to break above this previous low, so not bullish yet, and then broke, retested level. That's when you short. Boom. In fact, my red scenario suggestion was for if it breaks and retested, you can short this, and that's where the entry was. Okay. Yeah, ADA is still bearish in my opinion, still making lower low, lower highs. So if you want, you can short it if it reaches to next supply. TRX. 5 waves. We longed this thing. We made an amazing trade. I did trace a correction, expecting wave 5 to reach important high, but seller just sold way before. So the fifth wave in this case was a little bit lower on the under 27, and this happens when sellers are all over the place and buyers are not strong enough. You don't have to see 161, 261. You can even see this, and even a false um, fall, like it never reached the top. But in this case, it was a perfect swing failure pattern that took out the previous high. Beautiful swing failure pattern. That's what we trace the most in margin channel. And here we go. So price tried to break important high, never made it. Aka swing failure pattern. Was never able to stay above the swing. Took out the stops because you always gotta think these this is a coin that we can short, so probably there's gonna be some stop here. Equal liquidity for the short, and those stops are taken, and poof, price dumps. Okay, so TRX, I don't know, too much volatile at the moment. Too volatile, still below everything. It dumped even below my support, below the flat top support resistance, retesting. I don't know about this one. XRP. Ooh, look at that fucking wick. Oh my god. No, I won't touch XRP. Holy shit, look at this thing. Oh wow. Well, it was it stays above my super resistance flip, that's for sure. It close above it, but yeah, that's dangerous. Wow. it retraces 88% of the overall moonshot. Wow. No, guys, I won't touch it. Maybe if he breaks this, could be bullish if he breaks 2931. What is that one? 2931. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, it's an important level. I don't think it will break. Was a false breakout on top. False breakout here. Extreme volatile. Falling wedge pattern that I'm gonna cancel because it's so terrible. I will lean to a short here, to be honest, but I need to see the price action closer, and I will do that later on for my premium members. I'm not gonna go into trading opportunities here for scalping in the live stream. Ethereum, boom! Look at that massive thing. Hit my levels. I just needed those levels on Ethereum. That's all I needed. Um, Fake out also here. Actually, not a fake out. I would say there was supply here that got hit perfectly. So there was the extreme resistance. Yep, right there. We long this guy. We made pretty good money, and we closed it when we needed to. That's the most important part. Um, we closed it right on top before everything dumped. We made an awesome trade. Happy with it. Um, if you guys remember, I wrote in the channel market correction. Are you ready or something? So if you can search on my free channel market correction, and that's when I sold everything. Now, Ethereum, we'll see. Is this an ABC or an impulse? It still can be both, right? There's a perfect move here with a nice bounce. So is it this, or we're not gonna make it? What a wick though. Wow. That's a massive wick. Let's see if there is any breaker in the lower time frame. My God, look at this. Yeah, even this is so volatile, guys. Look, dump, pump, dump, pump, dump. Like, it's crazy. Well, the breaker block at this point. That's the only level. It's, I think it's too small, too risky. If I just trace that level as a possible breaker, but that's the one. If I go higher, there's a little candle here. 3 minutes. Yeah. No, I don't really like it as a breaker block possibility. I mean, this has to really break above it before for me to use it as a break, as I need to like to do this and then come back down, and that's when I might buy it. But nah, too volatile. I don't like this shit. I'm not gonna give money to manipulators. USD. Let's go check the big chart because that's the important part on this thing. So the seller are still here. Price was not able to beat those guys, and they smashed the price down again. It's so nice how all the charts are confluent with what everything that happened. You know, Bitcoin dumped right on a perfect level on the apex of that triangle. It just there was no space at all to move. And guess what? Everything reached exactly important resistances and dump all together. Like it's amazing how things match all together. Anyways, you guys know about Ethereum USD. I don't have to talk about it too much. If you guys watch the what Fibonacci tutorial, yeah, you know a lot about it. Reach under 27%, still on a very important level. Let's see, I wrote it here, important level. Beep, 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 beep. Let's check the weekly. Let's see what's going on here. Beep, 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 no. Well, this dump is still so bearish. Like even though the buyers kicked in here, you guys can see the price action and market structure is bearish in this correction. Like still making lower highs and lower low. Like here, if it broke here, it would have been good, but it didn't. So there's nothing bullish about this thing. There was not even higher high or a higher low. Nothing. So super bearish, especially with this massive candle. So if we traded the swing, which went up a lot, that doesn't mean things were extremely bullish, but a double bottom on this level might be interesting to look for. So as I said, on Ethereum USD, remember again the bearish scenario. Let's see where I got this, because I have 1 million charts. Oh, these are the sellers again. See, current seller, next seller. Where is it? Ethereum USDT. Let's see. Yeah, it even retested the triangle. Huh? Funny. Wow, that's pretty precise. Okay, the 50% Fibonacci, you gotta remember. Okay, because this could just be a correction upward. So instead of this impulse, price could actually dump. Okay, so if we break under 57, good luck. Good luck. And to finish our cute LTC, which again, I taste this seller. We attempted long, to be honest, on this one. I really got. I mean, it got me this time. It got me on this bounce here. We attempted long, and it got me. Like it dumped just right after I bought it, so we lost a -1 hour, but not a big deal. We were like 45 hour in profit this month, so I can care less. Yes, that was important level, got smashed. The seller, this main seller, it took they started this massive correction, dump or whatever you want to call it. Price broke above the falling wedge, tried to reverse. It looks everything perfect except for the fact that there was not a 1 2 3 4 5, but it was an ABC. So no good. Price dumped, and the seller was never able to make an higher high on the higher time frame. If we see the weekly, the same story of Ethereum. Price didn't make an higher high. Let's see on the 3-day time frame. It didn't make it. Like price attempted to do it, bounced for a second, but failed. So this is a massive false breakout. Price still in downtrend on LTC. We have to see how it recovers from this dump. I'm not gonna go try to make anything. Look at the candles. Look at the wicks. Fuck that. I'm not gonna trade this. Look at this. This is like wrecked in all in all direction. Whatever you do here, you get wrecked. So why the hell should you enter at this point? It's just stupid. It would be stupid. So No, I'm not even charting this. Okay. Well, guys, I think I talked a lot. 2 hours. Talked about Bitcoin. If you guys join now, go watch the video because it's very educational. Talked about all BitMEX coins. Talk about all the possibilities, bullish, bearish, and that's it. Just gonna finish to talk about a bit about my premium because subscription will start in few days and there will be a news that you need to know, and you will read the news on the free channel if you want to join. We still will keep, of course, every channel as we always did. The margin channel for scalping and leverage trading. Then we have our TA channel that focuses on altcoins. Very active also, but we rather just focus on margin when shit is crazy. We don't need to go crazy in chart altcoins when we don't have to. We still made 45 hours with a mix of margin calls and altcoins analysis. And then our beautiful education channel, which is full of videos, strategies, tutorials written either by me or Trader Timon that helps you learn what you need to know to become a better trader. Remember, as always, our goal is to make you a better trader. This live stream is a perfect example of how we approach our analysis with a very educational approach. We show you why you need to enter, when you need to enter, and what you have to look for if you want to enter a long or a short. We focus a lot on risk management. Ouch. The alert went on, off. We focus a lot on risk management. That's our key of our premium channel. And I think there will be a new announcement that you might found interesting. Stay tuned because it will be posted these days. Okay. If you have any question, feel free to write right now, or feel free to post either in cafe if you are a free member or in chat channel if you are premium, and I will be happy to answer. Let me check here Bitcoin. What happened? Oh, I just touched that level, nothing crazy. Okay. I mean, when we see these dumps, the best things to do is looking for, first of all, divergences, as I did, and for patterns, some kind of pattern that might help you, some kind of consolidation. I mean, this is not, it doesn't have to be this kind of harmonic, but it could be a triangle formation. So the triangle formation might be a stronger way to predict a move. Maybe it's doing something like this. Of course, we need a more swing, but if you see something like that, you know when things might react compared to now that you have no clue. You don't see a flag, you don't see a triangle, you don't see nothing. It's just ranging at the moment. So okay, guys, so no questions, so I will just leave and go see what I got on my trading journal right now. Okay, thank you so much, and I will see you guys later on. Bye bye, have a good one.